welcome back to today's broadcast. This is a video where the US Congress, the US congressmen and the Senate, where they are discussing about the end of Nigeria. In fact, make sure you watch it to the end so that for you to understand things that is going on in this country, and for you to know that in fact the country we all are seeing, and we are seeing as if it is existing. In fact, it is no more existing. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, it is now finally come to pass, because the end of the country has already come, and that is what is happening. In this conference, they are discussing heavily about the division of Nigeria, about letting the Igbos to be and letting the Fulanis, the jihadists, to be on their own, so that peace will reign. And what Rory Moore told Donald Trump when he went back to US, their country. In fact, it's a very big video. It's a very, very interesting and very big video for everyone to watch and for everyone to see what is really going on in the country. I was about to watch, like, subscribe and share for you.
That remains that the CIA have said in 2030 Nigeria will not exist. Nigeria is going to be like Rwanda, or worse than Rwanda. The one thing the Muslims have is patience. Their dream is to take over and annihilate Nigeria. I'm amazed. I'm impressed. I felt like I won a lotto. I never knew these guys are like this. The Bible says, from their fruit you shall know them. And I want to use this opportunity to thank you. I am Dr. Chuck Abodema. I've been in America for the past 35 years. And my friends now are ministers and commissioners in Nigeria. So when I went to Nigeria, I found out that I'm not a Nigerian. I don't belong to Nigeria. My good friend Mohammed, we all live in New York, Mohammed Shehu, he's the chairman of revenue allocation. Actually, he's the one that financed all this money they are giving. He's an American citizen. He's in Nigeria. So I got disappointed. I could not, when I see these guys on TV, I was so impressed seeing what's going on. Because I've been fighting this battle from Obasanjo and Bush when Obasanjo wants to come for the third issue. Yeah. So the fact remains that the CIA have said in 2030 Nigeria will not exist. Nigeria is going to be like Rwanda, or worse than Rwanda. The one thing the Muslims have is patience. Their dream is to take over and annihilate Nigeria, regardless. They've been doing this since Biafra war. Since 1967 to 1970, they are very patient. They're going to double down again. They're going to wait. If America comes now, they're going to comply. Look at what happened in Afghanistan. When American soldiers went there, worked with them, they came back and killed them. Look at what happened when Arafat and Clinton came here about Jerusalem. Arafat told them, don't worry, you can take Jerusalem. When he went back, there's a language they trusted that is Yaqi. I have a paper that I'm going to distribute all this. All this, okay, don't worry. That's what they're going to use. They have their own strategies. It's about strategy. Nigeria is in jeopardy, and we're going to die. There won't be existence of the Igbos no more. Because my friend Mohammed don't talk to me today. He has blocked me, he has done anything. But when it comes to America, we are Nigeria. When you go to Nigeria, it's Nigeria. I'm an American. Please, I thank you. We're in trouble. We're going to all die.
My country people, we are still in the meeting on how to handle Nigerian issue, whether to separate Islam from Christians. Keep sharing it. If you are not following it, go to Ifuna Victoria channel. You will see the beginning of this meeting and watch it serially. Don't forget to
Truth Nigeria in the last year and a half has been reporting on the ransom camps that are in the forests throughout Kaduna, Taraba, Nasarawa, Benue. These ransom camps, many of them are located near military installations in these forests. This is where, and kidnapping for ransom has become an industry in Nigeria. Yes. It is what is funding the terror. It's what's funding the slaughter and the occupied villages that are not being returned to the people who rightfully own the lands. So these ransom camps, it's like open air Auschwitz in the middle belt of Nigeria. We can't see it because of the foliage. You can't get satellite imagery on top of that. You can't just drone strike because there are people who live in the forests. But the military installations near to these camps, where people, ordinary people like you and me, that get hauled out of their villages, they're held in these camps, they're starved, tied to trees, beaten every single day, and it doesn't matter your age. Infants, small children, pregnant women, the elderly. These are the people who are being held in these starvation ransom camps. And nobody's talking about it. And nothing will change until this industry of kidnapping for ransom is disrupted in Nigeria. And it has to be attended to. And if Tinubu is going to tell us that he's protecting the Christians, he's going to raid those camps and free the people who are being held for ransom there. One person will go to pay a ransom for a brother or a sister. The ransom is taken, that person is freed, the person who brought the ransom is hauled in. And it's happening to entire communities that are being bankrupted through these ransom payments, and they're forced into IDP camps, into Abuja, into Lagos. This is how you clear the land. This is how genocide happens.
Thanks, Steve. Happy to take any questions.
Yes, I have a first, thank you for what you do. He's one of the most celebrated Americans in Nigeria because of what he's done. And my name is Stephen Osemige, president of Save Nigeria Group. His alerts we share. Once he posts, I have a bell on his social media. Once he posts, quickly, Doug has posted, and I want to thank you for what True Nigeria is doing. My question is, in Nigeria, the Fulani is a large ethnic group. So there's always this fight about how do you identify the fact that the Fulani Islamic militia is separate from that group. Because, for example, Nu Ribado, who is linked to the lobby of $9 million that's going on, he's a Fulani. Anytime the U.S. delegation goes to Nigeria, they are meeting with Fulanis most likely because they are mainly the leaders of the country. So how do you separate that? Because I see that's where the pushback is coming from, because we need to identify it. I just wanted to, if you had to deal with that.
No, I'll explain. The politicians that are Fulani are in bed with the terrorists. That's it. That's it. Look, right? The Fulani that are the top politicians are the ones directly laying cover for the terrorists. Okay? And we know for a fact that some of these politicians meet regularly with the terrorists that are orchestrating the attacks. Guys, everybody knows this. The Nigerians know this. Nigerian government knows this. But for some reason, we can't get people in our State Department to really recognize this. Sorry, one other rant real quick, if you don't mind, is that I know for a fact that our government still has not given a directive to the intelligence agencies to even look at the Fulani. There is no operating directive to look at the Fulani by our United States government. It's ISIS and Boko Haram, the shiny names. Not the people that are doing the mass majority killing of Christians. So please, if you have connections, if you know people in the government, Fulani ethnic militia, let's start doing some work with the U.S. government to look at the Fulani ethnic militia and quit thinking you can get full cooperation and honesty from the Nigerian government because they're lying through their teeth to your face.
And on
That's
the
it.
government, you really need to, and Congress could pass a law that when you've been designated as a country of particular concern, no meetings with lobbyists for countries of particular concern until
Yes.
they are meeting their standards.
You added that.
Yeah. So we'll keep that as mind. So anything, so Nigeria's at CPC, country of particular concern. There's no reason for a lobbying group from the U.S. to be sending messages from them, right, or helping them. So appreciate that. Scott, we got about 5 more minutes and then we have to be out of the room. Not that I'm giving you 5 minutes, Scott. I'll give you a minute. 1 minute.
Oh, I'll take more than a minute. Actually, I want to go even further than what Didi just said about the CPC status. Under the CPC status, The United States is not allowed to transfer any military equipment or provide any military training to countries that are on the CPC list. But yet, we know last week, a delegation of the Nigerian military went to San Diego to check on the status of 12 Cobra attack helicopters that have been on order since the Biden administration. That could be a nice little item to put in Truth Nigeria.
Yeah, we'll do a story on that. Thank you.
Be a nice item to put in the Daily Caller.
Yeah, thank you.
I actually saw it on the Defense Digest and Defense Industrial site.
Oh.
You know, they always, and we know for several years Nigerians have been adamant about purchasing U.S. attack helicopters. Twice they tried to purchase them secondhand from Gulf states. Twice the U.S. stepped in and denied the sales under the use of end user certificates.
So we'll look into that. Thank you, sir.
I think just to be clear, no one in this room is saying Fulani are evil, Fulani must be annihilated. Exactly. Fulani are people, it's a people group. It goes from Chad all the way across to Senegal, different varied people. It's the militia, those who are armed, anyone linked with it, the bandits, the so-called ethnic militia, whatever we're calling them.
Fulani ethnic militia.
People are, that's the terror. Those are the ones we got to be watching for. If I may in the room have Fulani friends, I myself have Fulani friends who want us to stop as well. So, one more comment.
To discuss about the video you have just watched, you know, where the international community actually had a brief conference and a summit where the issue of the Fulani jihadist activities in Nigeria were briefly, you know, actually discussed. You know, yes, in that discussion, it boils down to, you know, what Ranimo was actually, you know, trying to put down as in the report. You know, but I can tell you that it is the decision of the president himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to Donald Trump to look into. I'm talking about Donald Trump, not Tinubu, please. Sorry for that misconception. You know, I'm talking about Donald Trump himself. You know, the report has been officially put on his table, according to Ranimo, and some of the pieces we are able to get from that report clearly show that we are conditions that we are actually put in place, especially when it comes to Sharia law, are totally abolished from the Nigerian Constitution. I can tell you, if you look at Nigerian Constitution very well, you know, Nigerian Constitution as a nation is being tailored by people who have the motive and characteristics of Sharia in them, and that is why that constitution was all about Sharia, all about Islam. You know, you can look at the number of the Muslim that were mentioned in that constitution. Look at how many times, you know, Christianity was actually mentioned. Then look at how many times Sharia was also mentioned in Nigerian constitution. So it tells you a lot of things, you know. But Ranimo himself, why these people are saying that they are going to reject Ranimo's report, should be totally rejected, and they were giving instances, the reason why we cannot cohabit, either by omission or by commission, that after some time, you know, they will return back to square one, and the security challenges will definitely continue. And at that point, we might not have a sincere world leaders as what we have now. So it becomes a very serious, yes, it becomes a very serious issue, you know, for the future of Christians in Nigeria. Let me give you an instance. Look at what happened in Afghanistan. You know, look at what happened in during the days of Arafat. You know, look at other countries where they were allowed to be given a little space, just stay here for a while. Okay, we have agreed on a peace arrangement. Okay, let me even take you to the reality on ground. You know, in 1969 or thereabout, when the war actually ended, and Philip Effiong, there was a ceasefire. You know, that they are now going to return back to, you know, peaceful coexistence. Years after, we saw it very clearly that these people has actually rearmed again and started advancing. And these are the things the international community are saying now. Now, with this experience, we cannot propose such report before Donald Trump where a situation where Rolimo is saying that we can cohabit if America continue to fight insurgency in Nigeria militarily and otherwise, we can still be in the same but let us do away with anything that has to do with blasphemy, Sharia, and of course total abolishment of but the Northerners has actually replied him and told him and very clearly that Nigeria is an Islamic nation. We hear that in very clearly from Sultan of Sokoto. We hear it very clearly from their spokesperson, from the north. Just a few of them are already divided on that ground because some of them believe that Biafra is a legitimate thing. But we cannot try to trust these people whether they are pro-diplomatic or non-diplomatic, with their statement, and it cannot be trusted because history has shown that after some time, and that's what Donald Trump is trying to do in Iran when they are calling for ceasefire. He said no ceasefire, because he doesn't want a situation where this type of thing, after some time, we are back to square one. We are back to Iran now, trying to see or stop them from nuclear armament and all that, nuclear weapon acquiring, enriching uranium and all that. That this thing must be solved once and for all, and that's why we are saying that earlier before now, Galimo was talking about options. We don't know the decision of the United States of America at that point. Whether that report was actually to get the world to understand. There's already a situation since Nigeria is now a country of a particular concern. But it looks as if the leaders of Nigeria presently does not want to toe the line. The little bit have distanced themselves from the north. And we are seeing internal struggle within the Biafran, geopolitical zone. As some people that were planted and rooted by the Fulanis are questioning the rationale for that. But it is left for the world because I know very clearly there's no nation in this world without ethnic nationalities. So that's the wisdom of this thing. If they feel that there can be a Christian state nation, that it will be seen as a safety for all the persecuted Christians in Nigeria, for them to have their own separate, a nation where they can run to and be saved. I think what is the meaning of now saying, we can coexist with American. So another president can come from America and say that he's withdrawing troops from Nigeria. Then look at the kind of policies that Obama put in place, that today Americans are dying in the Middle East because as a result of that, today America is in war in the Middle East because of certain decisions taken by Obama. You went as far as empowering or funding terrorism, Hamas, Hezbollah in the Middle East with over 1.7 billion US dollars. Under Obama, and look at the situation now, and that is what this international community are saying now, that is a recent house show. We cannot continue like this, or else the entire Igbo race, which has always been the target, will be totally wiped away or possibly conquered or Islamized through their governors, through their senators, through their local government chairman, and of course, through the continuous instrument of force, especially the army and other, who are already targeting Igbo communities, who are setting them on fire, killing as they want, because they feel that it is the Fulani government that is running Nigeria currently now, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. The Igbo politicians seem to be very weak at this point in time, because they are the ones that were actually planted, but they were planted there by the Fulani to do the building, and that is what you are seeing very clearly. That it came to a point where Gumi said he's going to arm the federal government should arm Igbos, to attack Igbo people, and that's the only way they can conquer IPOB. You can see all manner of narratives, but nobody is doing that. We are not seeing that happening, in the north. The way they are interested to make sure that every structure that has, of which Southeast stands, is being, attacked and possibly collapse for them to have their way at the end of the day. And that is why there's a national and international cry in that regard, that U.S. government should look at it critically, or that we cannot cohabit And if we continue to cohabit, and that's why they said, Somalia will be better, than Nigeria. Rwanda will be better than Nigeria. And with the United Nations, the world leaders, they said, will not want to see just such a situation actually take place in Nigeria. And that is why everybody is saying that the only way out is peaceful, separation. And the Northerners are saying, that the Igbos are not going anywhere, and whether US like it or not. I don't know what that actually means to the US government and other world leaders in that regard. Whether there's going to be resistance or a change of opinion in that regard, or they're going to explore unnecessary options to make sure that everything come to be. But what we are saying is, at this point in time, what does the Northerners actually want in Nigeria? Where are they now moving from their own territory to other territories? What is their mission? What is their vision? What the question, we can pretend over the answers and the response of what that thing actually means in the real sense of it. But we know that the reality is that, the only target are the Igbos. And that is why you are seeing they are busy creating so much divisions among Igbo communities in the old Eastern Bloc. They are doing everything to make sure there is crisis up and down, planting. Imagine a situation where the region has actually rejected anything that has to do with joining Nigerian army. The Nigerian army are begging, and they're saying it very clearly. Without the Igbo youth in the Nigerian army, there will be no resilience. That these people are creating, they can take decisions on their own, go up with them, they can maneuver and give a credit at the end of the day, But since there's no Igbos again in the military has continued to collapse. It tells you we are the salt of this earth, we are the salt of this nation. Without us, no taste. And that is the clear picture of it, But we want a situation where these Northerners will answer these questions, and of course, let us also answer our own questions so that they can actually live and do their own things the way they want. Since they are insisting that everybody must be on Sharia, and people are saying, no, we cannot be under Sharia law or whatever you call it at the end of the day. It's better we go on our own way and do our own thing when we wanted it, but you see, that is the controversy that's going on. I think a lot of organizations in the world has been copied. EU has been copied. America has been copied. UK has also been copied. Israel has been copied. Many of the other nations, including Italy, has been copied by the decision. That's why they are moving from one place and another. I don't know why there's so much process, and protocol on the issue of breakup of Nigeria, because they really want on most of the things we are seeing today.
I think it's one of the options that Limo gave to, because a lot of people are expecting that should be one of the solutions.
If that option is being kept secret, I don't know, but the international community of the world are rejecting that report of Limo of coexistence, based on this thing. I do not know whether the other options they have, that has not been made official, includes American intervention to peaceful breakup of Nigeria. And most people are saying already that the president of the American military is not to engage in any form of fight with whatever, or Boko Haram or whatever. But their presence here is when America now decides that what they're going to do possibly to break up Nigeria, that this presence of American military will actually be a stabilizing force in case there is going to be any uprising against the American decision on Nigeria. Because a lot of Northerners have already seen Nigeria as an Islamic nation, and that is not correct the way it is now.
Thank you.
Someone implements what Allah asks them to implement, and then they do not perfect it. It's not an excuse for you. Allah says we should pray, and then someone is praying, is not praying properly. Does it mean that you are supposed to copy from him? No. I'm talking about with respect to Zamfara issue. If Zamfara was meant to be a specimen, and then Zamfara failed, does that mean that nobody should?
Yes, I'm sure you have watched that video. I just wanted to use that video as a point of discussion, because I promise those of you that watched my last video, I promise I will say something about the Sharia law. But if you have been following me, that's why I say you need to follow me. My psychological insight on things are very perfect. I told you that the next world war will be the religious war. It has started. What is going on between Israel, USA and Iran will end up into religious war. Just watch, but I will explain to you guys. And the major reason for this war is Sharia law. what is going to cause the next problem of the world is Sharia law. But imagine this man trying to encourage Southwest. They should embrace Sharia law. They can do better. Even the people that have done it, if they didn't do it well, they can do it better. So why don't those ones who have embraced it should try and amend it first? Let's see the positivity in their own life. Now the question you're going to ask yourself, is Sharia law necessary or important? No. It's a dangerous thing. A law where women don't have mouth, that encourages adolescent marriage, that if you don't have freedom of speech. Now, a law that will tell you what to do. But watch this video, I'm going somewhere so that you guys will understand what I'm saying. What states, what are the states in Nigeria that is facing the most dangerous insecurity? These are the states. Zamfara is there, Borno is there, Kaduna is there, Kano is there, Bauchi is there, and all these states that is facing all this threat and all this problem in terms of poverty, insecurity, everything about that state, illiteracy is high. They are the one that is practicing Sharia law. So you are practicing something and it's not beneficial to you people, but you want us to also take it from you people. Is that not insane? But now, I want to say this, but it's very, very important. Share this video. Israel and USA will strike Nigeria. The way they are striking Iran now, they might end up striking Nigeria. Do you know why I said though? This is my psychological analysis. I keep telling people, when you think outside the box, you know what is going on. The pattern that Israel and USA uses, if they want to come for you, is that they will hold on to that one thing, that one thing that is so dear to you, but they know that that thing is causing problem, but they know you cannot let go of that thing. They will go and hold that thing, and that's what they want you to let go. You will now refuse to let go of it. They will now use it as a reason to do what? To hit you. That is what is going to happen in Nigeria. The same thing happened in Iran. Nuclear weapon is what they used against Iran, because they know Iran will not want to give it up. And mind you, Iran is going to get more. So because you can't fight both country. Russia will promise you, and this will promise you, but nothing. There's nothing Iran can do. So the same thing is happening in Nigeria. They have told you people, remove Sharia law. That's how they start. Now, there will be talk and opposition. They know where they are going to. Remove Sharia law in Nigeria constitution. It's overdue. And because of this, I am going to tell everybody, especially the Biafrans, everybody should be ready for what is coming to Nigeria, because this thing that happened today in Iran is going to happen in Nigeria. I am telling you, it's going to happen in Nigeria. And that is why the prophecy of Nnamdi Kanu, or the prediction of Nnamdi Kanu, that Trump will liberate Biafra, or true federalism of Nigeria, and Tinubu will be the last president of Nigeria. Imagine these two things happening at the same time. Is it a coincidence? Is it Tinubu will be the last president of Nigeria? Trump will be the one to liberate Nigeria and Biafra. And now at the same time, the Trump is what? Is the president of America and Israel too. He said Israel. And Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. And Tinubu is making more mistakes that will divide the country. So be ready. Share this video, because I'm telling you that the same way they strike Iran, they will strike the northern part of Nigeria. This is not about targeting, because now they have asked you people to release something or leave something. Now you guys is going to fight. That's the way you see Northern Muslims fighting now. That no, there is no any country that can tell us to leave Sharia law or to remove Sharia law in Nigeria. So if you cannot leave it, what they will do next, they will now come to say, okay, we will leave it, but we will divide the country. You guys will still say no. Everything they will be telling you, before you know now, they start hammering you people the same way they are doing. So save this video and be prepared for what is coming for Nigeria, because after Iran, Nigeria will be next. That is the simple truth. Because I know, as stubborn as Nigerians Muslims are, they will not want to allow Sharia law to be removed from Nigeria constitution, and that is the tactics of USA and Israel. They will hold that one thing.
Now, some Igbo groups are beginning to wake up, and they are beginning to use their head. Now, look at this news. Remove Sharia law from Nigeria constitution or preside over Nigeria's breakup. Igbo group tells National Assembly. Loud and clear. QED. Remove Sharia law from the Nigeria constitution. Preside over the Nigerians break up. This is not like begging. I don't want the Igbo group each time they are talking to talk with please or try to talk small. They shout them. May the careless and the senseless Nigerian leaders understand it, because Nigerian government they know they hear word in a low tone. They hear them in the hard way. It is very clear. The Northerners leaders and the Northerners and Arewas has come out to say that instead of them to remove Sharia law from Nigeria constitution, it is better for Nigeria to be divided. What else are we waiting for? Tinubu divide Nigeria. Tinubu divide Nigeria now, because you are the only person who has the power, the mind, the obi. Now only you, Tinubu, get the power to. Please, if you finish your turn, divide Nigeria. I beg. Divide Nigeria for us. Make everybody go. It will be recorded in the history that you are the one that liberated Christians from shackles of ENM. Please, Tinubu, divide Nigeria. Kandi Igbo ga, kandi Yoruba ga, kandi Hausa ga, kudo wechia. Because without this, Christians will continue to be by or in Nigeria. Agani Igbo fa kokoko, agani Igbo Christians in Nigeria kokoko. And these people from the other side, they don't really send people to Tinubu avoid the person with the power. Ike Nigeria, in a peaceful way. Because, guys, if I have spoken your mind, let me know your own thoughts at the comment section. Share the video because makama 2 by 2.
Oh yes, that is it. All the video you see that is happening here, that is going on here, is just a recent video concerning this issue of Christian genocide, the issue of Sharia, and the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What that the US has already told Nigeria to do, but they refuse. Now, they are now coming into a new dimension so that the country, Nigeria, will accept. Just last week, we are all seeing how this man keep claiming and shoutings and keep saying that a Muslim ticket must hold, that Nigeria is Islamic country and nothing anybody can do about it. So he keeps saying it and nothing anybody will do about it. And that is how it is. And now, his issue of Sharia, it is something that they have already taken oath with, that nobody and nothing, nobody can stop them from practicing their Sharia, and they are doing it. And that same method, that same practice, this same issue of Sharia is what will definitely come to an end, or come to end this country. That is what is happening. All those things that you are seeing them going up and down, claiming this, claiming that, they are just using it to pass time and to waste time. They know what is happening and they know what is going on. That is. In fact, I would like your comments. What do you think about the thing going on in the country? Like, subscribe, and share for everyone to see the whole thing that is happening in Nigeria. So thank you for watching.